Remember how when I taught you about te forms of verbs last year that I told you that they were going to become really, really important? Well, here's yet another way in which you can use te forms of verbs to express different ideas in Japanese. The te miru form of verbs. So if you change a verb to its te form and then you add the suffix miru to the end of it, you're basically saying I'm going to try to do this verb, or I am tentatively going to do this verb. And you may look at this, te miru and be like, wait, miru is itself a verb. It means to see. And yeah, indeed, this is where miru does come from. You can also think of it as I'm going to do this verb and then see what happens. That's kind of how it works. So, te miru. However, you do not use the kanji for miru that you would use when you're using miru as just I'm seeing something, I'm looking at something. You just write it out in hiragana. So the best way to learn how te miru forms of verbs work is to just see them in action. So let's go over some sentences. 来年はドイツ語を勉強してみます. So 来年 is next year. As for next year, 来年はドイツ語. So you may know Nihongo is Japanese, Deutsch is Germany, so Deutschgo. Incidentally, that comes from Deutsch. If you know German, you know Deutsch is German. Deutschland would be Germany. And Japanese is cool in that they actually make it kind of sound like Deutsch instead of like English, where we're like German. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, Deutschgo. ドイツ語を勉強して study German, but してみます. So I'm going to try. I'm planning on tentatively going to study German next year. この答案の答えが全然わかんないな。先生に聞いてみる? So this is plain speech. この答案 is like question on a test or a worksheet. So this question on this test/worksheet が全然わかんないな. So 全然 not at all. わかんない this is slang for わからない. So I completely do not understand the answer to this question. 先生に聞いてみる? So 聞く, that verb, 聞いて, 聞く, it can mean to hear something, but also if you're using particle ni with like a person, you are asking that person. So you're asking the sensei and then you're going to listen basically for the sensei's answer. So 先生に聞いて is to ask sensei or ask your teacher. 先生に聞いてみる? Question mark. Would you like to try asking our teacher? And then see if that will yield an answer. Of course it will. Your teacher knows everything. Ha ha ha. Anyway, 食べてみる? I was on the receiving end of this question a lot when I was in Japan. So, wanna taste it? So note how literally this would be like, wanna try eating this thing? I'm probably holding out something. 食べてみる? Wanna try eating this thing I'm holding? Imagine whatever you want in my hand. But to try to eat, we have a verb for that in English. It's called taste. So, wanna taste? So remember do verbs, u verbs, and regular verbs? The cool thing about te miru verbs is they are now all magically do verbs. Doesn't matter if it was formerly an u verb, do verb, or an irregular verb. Once you change it into its te miru form, it is now magically a do verb. So you conjugate them as do verbs. What do I mean conjugate? I mean you can do all kinds of things like put it in the negative form, put it in the past form, put it in past negative form, put it in the is it okay if I do this verb form, all these things. So here are a few sentences that illustrate te miru in all its various permutations. あのレストランのラーメン食べてみたいな. So あのレストランのラーメン. The ramen of, technically. That's weird English, though. The ramen at that restaurant. That restaurant's ramen. Notice how I don't have a particle in there. Here's a fun little wake-up call. Real Japanese people don't use particles a lot. not as often as you might think that they do if textbooks were correct. So yeah, no particle, and that's totally okay. So あのレストランのラーメン食べてみたいな. So 食べてみたい. I want to try eating, or I want to taste. I would like to eat. Gee, I'd really like to try the ramen at that restaurant. 進撃の巨人の主題歌 Gurenの弓矢を歌ってみた. This is like a title of a YouTube video. In fact, it is a title of a few YouTube videos. You'll see this を歌ってみた at the end of so many YouTube videos in Japanese YouTube. Just look it up. So something or another, X を歌ってみた。歌う to sing, 歌ってみた I tried to sing, I tried singing. 進撃の巨人 Attack on Titan の主題歌 theme song. So the Attack on Titan theme song, Guren no Yumiya, which is one of the most badass theme songs in the history of the universe, を歌ってみた I tried singing or I sang the Attack on Titan theme song, Guren no Yumiya. あのアトラクションが面白そうですね。乗ってみませんか? So, attraction, by the way, is wasei-eigo. So I went over gaidaigo last season in Japanese for beginners. It's a borrowed English word. This is a gaidaigo. It's a borrowed English word, but it's one step further than that. It's wasei-eigo, which means like it is like Japan-sized English words. So once it has become a Japanese word, which it has in this case, it now has taken on a completely different meaning. You might think it means attraction, but it does not really. Like old-timey English, we would kind of call it an attraction, like attractions at a state fair or something, but it really means like ride, like a ride at a yuenchi, at an amusement park. So あのアトラクションが面白そうですね. Like, ooh, that ride looks like it would be fun. 面白そう, not 面白いそう. That would mean I have heard on good authority that that ride is fun. No, that ride looks fun. I'm looking at it. 面白そうですね. 乗ってみませんか? Wouldn't you like to try it? Wouldn't you like to try getting on that ride? 乗る is to get on something, so 乗ってみる to get on and then see what it's like. 乗ってみませんか? Wouldn't you like to? Would you like to? Remember that ませんか from season 1? 好きな人に告白してみたんだけど、ダメだった. Yeah, that was my best moe impersonation. Thank you. So 好きな人, my crush, the person that I like, に告白する. So 好きな人に告白する to confess. To confess your love, your feelings to the person that you like. So yeah, I hate when 告白 is translated as confess. Doesn't mean confess. It's like what? You're confessing to a crime? No. You are asking someone out, usually is a really good way of translating that. Or telling someone you like them, basically. I told my crush I liked them, but like it turned out bad. ダメだった. Didn't work out. So in this case, it kind of sounds weird to say I tried asking my crush out, unless you're talking in super past tense. If it's like more recent, then it's more like I asked him out, but he said no. あなたもやってみてはいかがでしょうか? That was my best, like, I don't know, prim and proper female Japanese announcer voice. Wouldn't you like to give it a try too? Very, very, very polite. So, yaru is a verb that means to do something, more actively than suru. Yatte miru would mean give it a try, and this is extremely common. Yatte miru. Like if someone hands you a task or assigns you a task and you want to be optimistic, like, yatte miru, like, I'll try. I'll try to do this. You can also be kind of like passive-aggressive with it. Yatte miru ne, like, yeah, I'll try. Yatte mite wa ikaga deshou ka? So like, how would you like it? What do you think? Wouldn't you like to give this a try? And for all you pedantic people out there, yes, you can add the te miru suffix to the verb miru. Watch it in action. Behold, 後で見てみるね means I'll check it out later. So this is the part of the video where I bring your attention to another resource where you can learn Japanese, because you should not be learning all of your Japanese from me. I am but one lowly entertainment translator. You should be getting many different perspectives, preferably from some native speakers as well. And this week I would like to draw your attention to Hobopoyo, another Japanese language VTuber. This is really awesome. Like, VTubers are everywhere, man. But they're cute. And if you want to learn from an anime character and not from real people like me, check out Hobopoyo. Anyway, Hobopoyo is a new channel with mostly beginner level videos, but they're taught in Japanese with English subtitles, so it's also useful for intermediate level learners who want to practice listening to Japanese by native speakers. So check out Hobopoyo. Thanks for watching this week's episode, and thank you to all the patrons who support this and all the other series on the channel, including Watch Sailor Moon Learn Japanese, Watch Anime Learn Japanese, Sing Study Japanese. I have so much stuff on this channel. And I hope to see you all next week when we go over nara. 頑張ってね!